This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
CBD is a game changer sweeping the nation. This hemp extract is the natural way to elevate your mood, eliminate aches and pains, reduce anxiety, and keep you sleeping all night long. It can even cut your workout recovery time in half. Get in the game today with 20% off all orders of CBD and lavender products from Lavender Lane, a lavender farm located right here in Milan, Michigan. Just go to lavenderlanemi.com today and enter coupon code DETROIT for 20% off your entire order. Guys, look, these amazing products are infused with calming lavender to maximize their effectiveness, meaning your CBD items only take minutes to take effect, which is way quicker than those pills you were about to swallow. On top of it, they are perfect for men and women. Lavender Lane has lab-tested CBD creams, tinctures, and roll-ons that are perfect for any situation, even if you're on the go. Put your health back in your hands by heading over to lavenderlanemi.com and entering coupon code DETROIT for 20% off your entire order of CBD and lavender products. What do you have to lose? Your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. So if you need lavender gifts for your loved ones or just looking for the natural way to ease your discomfort with CBD, go to lavenderlanemi.com and use coupon code DETROIT to unlock these miraculous benefits of CBD and lavender. That's lavenderlanemi.com. And remember, use coupon code DETROIT for 20% off your CBD and lavender products from Michigan's own Lavender Lane.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fan Reporter Show, made by fans for fans, powered by the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. I'm Nick, and sitting right across from me is everybody's favorite co-host, and he's going to give us this week's topics.
You guys can see it, I was dancing back there. The Lions gave it their all against the Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday, but they fell just short of walking down the Ford Field with a win. Was this game telling the kind of team we have in Detroit? The Fan Report's here to talk about it. Is it weird that I keep referring to us in the third person, by the way?
I mean,
like the Fan Report's here to talk about it.
Well, we are the Fan Report. I mean, we are the Fan Report. This is what we do. This is who we are. You can refer to us in third person all you want. Nick is here to talk about things with the Fan Report, and Andrew
is here dancing behind the microphone,
doing the Bernie. I like it. Doing a little bit of the burn. We had quite a football game on Sunday, didn't we?
It was one of those games that you're like, my heart can't hold up as a Lions fan.
So this is how my viewing experience went. So obviously, considering the level of debauchery that we had partook in on Friday and Saturday night this weekend, let's just say I will be needing a tolerance break from that for a while. I woke up quite literally 5 minutes before kickoff on Sunday. Turned my TV on in my bedroom and laid in bed to watch the game. And in like clockwork, quite literally, as the game went on, I started rising further and further out of bed until at the very last 5 minutes of the game, I was literally sitting on the end of my bed about 4 feet from the TV to watch the end of this football game.
I had a very different experience. I was at my cousin's house at noon, eating bagels and drinking, getting ready for the game. So at 1 o'clock, I was ready a few beers in, ready to roll.
Man, 3 days in a row of that. No, thank you. I did 2, and technically, I guess you could consider it a third day in a row because day 2 continued on into day 3. But
yeah, we went to our buddy's house for the afternoon game. I had a couple more after that. But
we did. I only had one. I only had one at our buddy's house. But no, I have a lot of thoughts about this game. A lot of things impressed me. Mm-hmm. Some things still worry me. There are some things that I still look at and go, okay. But
I will say my overall takeaway from this game is positive.
Oh, 100%. Nobody expected the Lions to be in this one, let alone leading with less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Nobody in the world expected that. And if you did, and if you try to tell me you did, you're a liar.
Well, we know one person that definitely was.
He's a Lions Kool-Aid drinker. And I'm not going to lie to you. I would be straight up doing keg stands of the Lions Kool-Aid if they won this game.
Yep.
One of the biggest things that impressed me was the resilience of the secondary on the Lions football team.
Oh, as soon as I heard Darius Slay was out,
Darius Slay for the entire game. Quandre Diggs got hurt fairly early, I believe, in the first half. Mm-hmm. You had Mike Ford, Slay's replacement, go down for a while and then continue to play hurt. The resilience of that secondary to not only hang in there while hurt, and depleted, but in all honesty, play really freaking well. Like, they played really well. I don't know if Matt Patricia thought of an idea to bring in punching bags into practice for this week, but whatever he did to tell these guys to punch the football loose, it worked. It clearly worked because we saw it on plays where we saw it. Who was it? Justin Coleman, who had a fantastic game, by the way. Punch it out of Sammy Watkins' hands in the end zone. We saw him punch it out of Sammy Watkins again on a fumble later on in the game.
Maybe they're watching film. They're like, "Yo, Sammy doesn't know how to hold a football, so if he just want to punch
it wasn't just Sammy Watkins, though. I think it happened to Kelsey once. It happened to it was him twice. It happened to everybody on the Chiefs.
He made a fantastic play at the end of the game.
Oh. That was kindergarten play school shit. What the hell was that?
It made me so mad, but I couldn't help but respect it.
The little bit of hook and ladder razzle dazzle. It was. I went ooh. There was a lot of positives in this game. The better quarterback on Sunday was in Honolulu Blue. There's no question.
And we had a buddy that said it was going to happen. We all called him crazy.
We did, but the better quarterback were Honolulu Blue and Silver, and he was fantastic out the game. Playing hurt. Playing with a bad hip, which I still don't know how that happened.
And that play where he was about to be sacked, he shut off two tacklers, and then he lowered his shoulder into the next guy.
Right.
Like, are we sure he's hurt? I mean,
he certainly didn't play like he was.
Before that, you're watching him like walking with a limp. You're like, what in the?
There were times where he was clearly hobbled.
Yeah.
And then there were times where he was able to fight it off. I mean, the dude is tough as nails. We've seen it several times.
I don't think you can say after this game that this dude's not tough. Like people.
Okay. How about the game against the Browns where he tore his shoulder out and then still went back in the game to make the 2-point to hit the 2-point conversion? That's where you say he's tough as nails. Now it's just like clockwork with the guy. He just does it. You expect him to play this way. You expect him to be hurt and continue to play and grind it out. That's what he does. And there's not many guys in the league that you can say about that. Not just the quarterback position, but any position, who can endure the pain that he goes through and play at the level that he does. There's not many. There's a level of respect that needs to be given to him there. Just like there's a level of respect that needs to be given to the Lions from the NFL throughout the rest of the season. No question.
Agreed.
Now I'm not gonna. Now the talking point that I've seen all over Reddit and all over the forum posts and things like that and Twitter is the Lions got screwed by the refs in this game. I'm gonna disagree with that. Lions had several chances to win this football game. Several. They fumbled twice inside the 5-yard line. That's unacceptable.
There were bad calls.
They didn't play through the whistle on a ball that was fumbled when you clearly saw the entire Chiefs defense going after it.
That angered me the most was that play.
You play through the whistle.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. It's what you do. And there was no whistle, so I don't know why they stopped playing to begin with.
And we were texting like when that play happened. I'm like, as annoying as this is, that's on the line. Why are they not playing through the whistle? You got to
play through the whistle. And there was no whistle. So why are you stopping? You don't hear a whistle, go. Yeah. That play bothered me a lot. And then you had the Chiefs with their back against the wall. Final drive of the game. 4th down and 8, and you allowed Patty Mahomes to scramble for 15 yards, right up the gut.
You doubled Kelsey, and then you had this one. I think was a complete miscommunication. The Lions' defensive front was you had two guys go after the running back on the.
You did. You had two guys go after the back of that play, which may have been miscommunication there, because I bet you one of those guys there was probably an agreement where depending on which side of the ball he lines up on, you take the back, I'll be the spy. Both of them took the back. You lost your spy. Yeah. That's what led to the opening in the middle of the field for Patty Mahomes to run. Because if you notice on that play, the pass rush was not going after Pat Mahomes. They were not going after him. They were playing straight up contain on the outside edges.
Which is what you want to do.
Which is what you want to do there. You don't need to go after the quarterback there. You just trust your team to make the plays in the backfield. And you put a spy on a guy who's a mobile quarterback and you play contain. Don't let him outside the pocket. Don't let him make plays with his legs. You lost your spy. That left open middle of the field, and that's exactly where he went for 15 yards.
That's what I'm saying. I refuse to believe that Paul Pasquale didn't draw up a spy play on there. Like he had to have. So like I really do feel like there was some kind of miscommunication that happened on the field.
If he didn't and knew the name of the guy behind under center on that play, he needs to be fired.
That's what I'm saying.
So I can bet you he did.
Yeah.
There's something I'm noticing this year that I did not notice last year with this team.
Okay.
It is the level of intelligence put into game planning. And something I saw from PrideofDetroit.com, giving them a shout out because I read some of their stuff. The mess. Lions play messy games. No question. A lot of turnovers, a lot of ugliness, a lot of just dirty, ugly games. And the Lions have been able to come out and take 2 of them. They tied 1 of them, and they lost 1 of them. Seeing after week 4 of 4 straight ugly games, is this by design? Is Matt Patricia coaching these guys to play an ugly game and grind out a close game in the end and maybe pull it out at the end?
I mean, if he is, it worked. They brought the Chiefs down their level in terms of grind.
Was it them bringing them down to the Lions level, or was it the Lions playing up to their level?
Well, they threw the Chiefs completely out of the rhythm. They didn't want to play the shootout game, which this game didn't really end up being.
True.
Despite what the score says, this game didn't really didn't feel like a shootout.
No, it really didn't. I mean, Patrick Mahomes threw 0 touchdown passes for the first time in his career.
Yeah.
That's saying something right there. This is a dude who threw 50 touchdowns last year and already had 14 coming into this game.
Yeah.
Well, he's walking out of this game still with 14. That's something that a lot of teams are not going to be able to do. And honestly, I'd be surprised if we see it again this year.
Yeah. That's why I think the Lions did. They played damn near a perfect game, but there were some big key mistakes that they made that cost them.
Fumbling twice inside the 5-yard line is completely unacceptable. You cannot do that.
But game
I know you forced a ton of fumbles yourself, but when you have a chance to score, you must come up with points. And if you did, you would have won the game.
But secondary played fantastic. O-line
unbelievable.
played fantastic. Running backs played fantastic. Stafford,
the O-line,
fantastic.
the O-line in the running game was good. In the passing game, they gave up some pressure. They gave up some pressure. Stafford got hit a couple times.
Get sacked.
A few times. 3 times, if I recall. Was it 2 or 3? Nah, my browser crashed. Where's the IT department in this place? Just kidding. Just kidding. That would be me. I see 4 sacks for the Chiefs.
Oh.
So he was hit 4 times in this game. Well, sacked 4 times. He was hit a lot more. But there were key mistakes in this game. No question about it. A couple of missed tackles here and there. Obviously not having a spy on Pat Mahomes on the 4th and 8. They still gave up about 5 yards per carry against the Chiefs running game. Granted, they did hold Shady McCoy, who went off in the last time Shady McCoy played the Lions, he ran for 218 yards and 2 touchdowns. He only accounted for, I believe it was 56 in this game. Yeah, 56. You did give up 54 to Mahomes, which is a lot. Granted, 39 of those 56 yards for Shady McCoy came on 1 play.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, you did good. But you did still give up 4.9 yards per carry, which is not very good as a defense. You want to be better than that. But for the most part, like I'm talking 90 to 95% of the game, they held that team in check.
Yeah.
No passing touchdowns. Nobody over 100 yards receiving. Nobody over 657 yards rushing. That's a pretty damn good game defensively. I know that they put up 34 points. I still have no idea where those points came from.
And I'm saying our running backs, Kerryon averaged about 5 yards a carry.
Kerryon was fantastic.
J.D. McKissick was 4 carries for 30 yards, like 7.5 yards a carry.
He did.
Even Ty Johnson, 3 for 13, which is more than 4 yards a carry.
Kerryon played, in my opinion, one of his best games on the ground in a Lions uniform.
Only could punch one in, too.
Oh, if the fumble is the glaring mistake.
He took the blame, saying I shouldn't have extended out on the goal.
He shouldn't have. No, 100% he should not have. One, he was a whole 3 feet. He was a whole yard short, basically. Trying to extend it out in that scrum, you're asking to have the ball knocked loose. We've seen it time and time again. That's a young player's mistake. Hold on to the ball. Maybe put it up by your head, your shoulder, something. Keep it close. Do not extend out and risk it being kicked away, because that's exactly what happened. It hit someone's knee, and it went bye-bye.
Yeah.
And then we saw the rest of what happened.
Still perplexes me. How you just stand there and let him just go.
I'm not going to call him out. Well, okay, I'm going to call him out. Dude played an amazing game and made one of the more ridiculous catches I've ever seen in a Lions uniform. But Kenny Galladay on that play straight up threw his arm out at the Chiefs corner or whoever picked it up and just let him go by.
Yeah.
He was right next to him, threw his arm out at him, and did nothing.
Yeah.
No whistle. He just stopped playing. And that's disappointing to me because, again, you learn from a young age. The whistle stops the play.
Yeah.
Nothing else. And there was no whistle. And if you think you heard a whistle, play through it. If someone's running the ball down the field, hit his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
But there were some fantastic plays made in this game by both teams, but by the Lions especially. Kenny Galladay with that catch along the sideline there where he just scooted that foot along. Oh, my God. That was so nice. Marvin Hall made a great catch down the sideline late, the big play, that 34-yard pass, who was a name that we really haven't heard much of, filling in for the injured Danny Amendola.
I didn't know who it was until I saw him make that catch.
He filled in for the injured Danny Amendola in this game, so carry on making plays left and right. What really impressed me was
Hawk was making some big-time blocks in this game, too.
Hawk showed his blocking ability.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago I was saying I haven't been overly impressed with his ability to block in the NFL. I know it's tough to translate. I know he's a good blocker and a capable one. I just haven't seen what he was touted as.
Yeah.
This game I saw it. Dude made some big blocks to spring out some plays and make things happen. I was thoroughly impressed
Just hope
with
he's
that.
not out for too long, because...
Apparently I did see today, it is a concussion.
Yeah, they're not putting him on IR.
As well as a shoulder injury like we thought.
Oh.
So it is both. So because when he went down, which still don't know why he tried to do it, it was a young guy trying to make an athletic play.
What, like he was like, didn't Logan Thomas try to do one earlier too? Like
Logan Thomas tried to do it earlier, but
that
Logan
looked
Thomas
like it was slow-mo also.
Logan Thomas almost cleared the dude, and then he got spun out of bounds.
Yeah.
His was okay. TJ Hawkinson had two guys in front of him who were standing upright.
Yeah.
There's one rule: when you see an upright, smaller defender in front of you, what do you do?
He's on Logan Thomas's guy was upright too when he got the hurdle.
But when you see a smaller defender who's upright on his heels in front of you, and you're big as hell, what do? You smash and you run his ass over. And TJ decided to go the other route and go over, and it costed him. Honestly, almost could have costed him, one, his career, two, his season.
Yeah.
Because when he went down the way he did and landed on that shoulder, I immediately thought busted collarbone. Immediately.
Yep.
And then I saw him slam his head on the ground and went, well, that's not good. So it is both. It is his shoulder and his head. That's concerning. No IR, though, which is a good thing.
Which tells me he's probably not a broken collarbone.
I would hope not. Because
I don't know why you wouldn't put him on IR if it was a broken collarbone.
Right. But Kerryon Johnson, the thing that impressed me with his game was the level of consistency. Granted, he never really broke a big play. His longest run was for 14 yards, so that's not that crazy.
Yeah.
However, to still put up 125 yards when your longest run is 14 yards, that's consistency.
Jinx.
Damn. But, going back to the leaping over players thing, Logan Thomas obviously learned later in the game from TJ's mistake and his mistake familiar. Because later in the game, he straight up plowed somebody over to get the extra couple yards for that first down. I went, oh, damn. Man learned. He's a big boy. He can take that.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, you really can't talk enough about how good the Lions secondary was. And the biggest glaring things were the Chiefs have had a field day by hitting that deep ball all season long. All season long so far, with Demarcus Robinson hitting that deep ball. Mecole Hardman, 2 straight games having a catch of over 60-plus yards. Mecole Hardman went 2 catches for 9 yards. Demarcus Robinson, 4 catches, 35 yards. They did not give up the deep ball. In fact, the longest pass for the Chiefs in this game was 30 yards. And one of those was late in that game.
I was about to say, wasn't that Kelsey lateral to McCoy? Wasn't that a 30-yard technically pass play?
I think it was 23 because I see McCoy's longest is 23 and Kelsey's is 18. So I think it was about that route. I don't really know exactly how that would be scored in the stat sheet. Because considering you can technically say Kelsey never fully maintained possession of the football move, so it could be a tipped play to McCoy for the 23 yards, and I think that's what it is.
Any credit?
I don't think so. I don't think so because I don't think he technically ever possessed the football. But I, again, thoroughly impressed with the way that the secondary played. They were resilient. They were tough. They were smart. They took their spots to punch the ball loose. They did what they had to do. When they were beat, they made plays happen.
Yeah.
Like Justin Coleman in the end zone when Sammy Watkins had the ball punched out.
Yeah.
That play. When Sammy Watkins beat Justin Coleman on the hitch and then tried to turn back around to make some plays after the catch. Coleman was there to punch the ball out, giving the Lions possession back.
Yeah.
Play after play after play was made by this Lions secondary, and I was extremely impressed. Extremely impressed.
I just would have been even happier
if
if
one
that
more
4th and 8 play was made.
Yeah. Well, I thought the Lions front seven
Yeah.
played very well. Didn't get to Pat Mahomes as much as we would like. However,
They were able to contain him.
they were able to well, I wouldn't say contain him. He ran for 54 yards. They were able to get to him and force his and force mistakes with his rhythm, force some issues, speed his clock up. They didn't allow
That's
receivers to
very true.
get deep downfield.
That was very true because
They pressured him a lot.
Pat Mahomes missed a lot of balls, and I think a lot of that was us pressuring him,
absolutely,
throwing off his timing.
absolutely, 100%. There was even a play I remember where Pat Mahomes, in when he dropped back to pass, he stumbled a little bit because the pass rush was getting to him. He almost fell over
Yeah.
by himself. That shows uncomfortability by the quarterback in the pocket for a guy who's probably never felt that in his life.
And he acknowledged that. I believe it was him that acknowledged it in the post game, saying like they punched us in the mouth, like we had to get down and dirty,
Almost
like
quite
that.
literally. In fact, one time it was quite literally. On the McCole Hardman fumble on the kick return, he got punched in the mouth and then the ball came loose.
But no, this is despite the fact that we lost, this is the best game I've seen the Lions play in a long time.
I'm not a person who believes in moral victories. When you lose a game, you lose a game.
Yeah.
But this was one of the best losses I've ever seen the Lions play because they just played so damn well. And going back to the pass rush, one play in particular that really, really was a bad, it costed us the game almost. One of the plays that cost us the game was that damn roughing the passer call. I don't know what roughing the passer is in the NFL anymore. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. Because I've seen some shit where I'm like, oh, clearly roughing the passer. That would have been roughing the passer 10 years ago. No flag. Nowadays, a dude comes anywhere near a quarterback and hits him square. Not in the head, not low, but square. Flag. Roughing the passer.
Especially if it's a protected quarterback.
I'm not going that far.
Which I think Mahomes has gotten favor of the league now.
I'm not going to throw it that far because I don't believe in creating conspiracies like that. I don't necessarily disagree.
You don't think Tom Brady gets the benefit of passer calls?
I actually don't think he gets more than anybody else.
Or
no.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers does. But that's just because I hate the Packers. FTP.
Speaking of the Packers, so that's our next opponent. We have a bye this coming week.
Got a bye week, which is good because that'll allow some of our
Lord
guys to
knows
get
what we're
healthy.
going to talk about on the show on Monday.
That'll allow Stafford, Slay, Amendola, TJ, all those guys to get healthy.
Yeah, so Lord knows we're going to talk about the show on the show next week, but we'll probably give you guys a little Pistons preview
Easy
next
bake
week.
ovens.
Easy bake ovens.
That was the first thing that popped in my head. I don't know why.
All right, we'll talk about easy bake ovens. Jot it down, mark it, lock it
All right, it's
in.
on the show notes for next week.
Yep. So, I honestly think all three of the division opponents would have lost if two of them didn't play each other last week because they all looked terrible.
Seriously, everybody looked bad except the Lions. Everybody looked bad
Yeah.
except the Lions.
So this division is looking...
The Packers didn't look terrible. They just played a good Philly team.
and then the full team that Lions beat. And
Granted, it was a different Philly team.
And then and the Bears obviously look down on defense to expect, but that offense is going nowhere.
Well, I mean, they had Chase Daniel in at quarterback, and actually, Chase Daniel looked better. Just saying.
He did kind of look
He looked a lot better.
But so this division's looking fairly vulnerable.
Which we thought the opposite last week. We thought that this division was unstoppable. They were 7-0 against non-divisional opponents. 7-0-1, I should say.
My question to you is, what are your expectations? Because right now it's looking like the Lions and Packers are the two best teams in this division.
After first quarter of the season, sure, we can say
so
that.
right now.
I still am not going to count out the Bears, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a Monday night showdown for our next game against the Packers in Lambeau. What do you think of our prospects for this game?
It's a tough game. I think it's going to be another game where it's a pretty dirty, ugly game. The Lions and Packers tend to play ugly games unless Matt Flynn's at quarterback for the Packers.
Let's just hope it's not snowing already in Wisconsin by mid-October.
Maybe. It's going to be a tough game. Aaron Rodgers always comes to play when it comes to divisional rivals, and you always got to be wary of that. They've got a good running back in Aaron Jones. They've got an unbelievably fantastic receiver in Devontae Adams, who finally woke up. Thank God for my fantasy team. And they've had a defense that has shown up this early in the season. However,
Outside of the Philly game.
There's a lot to like about that Packers team, or hate if you're a Lions fan. But there's also a lot to like about this Lions team. And honestly, coming off of a week of rest, so essentially 2 weeks off between games, You're going to see a fresher Lions team that is a healthier Lions team. Granted, they haven't really had many injury issues thus far this year. But there's a lot to like about what can happen, leading up into this game. No question about it.
And we're going to need all our guys in the secondary to step up just like they did against the Chiefs.
Because the Aaron, damn well Aaron Rodgers can hit just about any receiver. Yeah. And they've got good ones. And they can beat you with a lot of different people. Jimmy Graham's going to be a tough matchup.
I forgot what show it was. Deion Sanders was commending the Lions secondary in the Chiefs game.
I don't think there's a damn analyst in the world that can't commend the Lions secondary for that game.
Because they were asking him if the Lions survived. They were asking the question if the Lions provided the blueprint to beating the Chiefs. And
kind of like how they provided the blueprint to beat the Rams last year, apparently.
And Deion Sanders saying,
and the Patriots.
Yeah, you could say that, but you're not equipped in the secondary to do the Lions did with their secondary against the Chiefs. I'm like, damn.
Wow. That makes me feel all tingly. Damn. Okay.
He's like, you don't have the personnel to. He's like, teams don't have the personnel to pull off what the Lions pulled off against the Chiefs. I'm like, whoa.
I'm gonna let primetime talk like that.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about the Lions secondary like that in my life.
I'm not mad about primetime saying that. Let's just say that. And to say that without Darius Slay, no Quandre Diggs, I'll take that. I mean, the Lions obviously did spend a ton of money in their secondary, so it better be better.
Now, I don't know. Is Slay supposed to be ready? I mean, I'm thinking this bye week comes at a great time.
Well, he was questionable in practice in limited fashion in this past week. So I do think he'll be ready with a week off and then practicing next week.
I think this bye week comes at a really good time because it gives Stafford time to rehabilitate that hip.
Gives Stafford time, gives Slay time. Who knows what the situation with Mike Daniels is?
Who knows the situation with Hawk is?
Right, but it gives Quandre Diggs has time to get healthy.
If it's more so just a concussion protocol, he might be able to get through the concussion protocol in 2 weeks. I don't know.
That shoulder conons me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know the severity of the shoulder injury.
Yikes. But our quarterback outplayed Patrick Mahomes. There's a lot to be happy about that. Like that's a good feeling. And we had a 100-yard rusher.
Again.
What was I going to say? There was something I was going to say.
But yeah, like Carry-On faced sorry.
Well, the Chiefs' run D is terrible. Yeah. Let's be honest. Their run D is
breaking
terrible.
News, Davante Adams is unlikely to play on Sunday against the Cowboys with that Churchill injury. So
damn it. Right as I said, finally he woke up.
I wonder if Davante get back from this turf toe injury in time for the Lions game.
Turf toe is a nagging injury. It's something that'll bother him for the rest of his damn life. I mean, hell, it ended Javid Best's career.
That's something that, and the concussions.
Yeah. That,
the man damn near died on the field. That play always scares me when I watch that at West Virginia. That play always scares me.
Yeah.
But back to so if the Packers own Davante Adams against the Lions, that's huge for the Lions.
It is.
That's massive.
I'm not saying that it makes the Lions the favored team.
No, I'm not saying
but
that.
I'm saying it makes it easier for your secondary. Yeah. I had a thought.
What was this thought?
I don't remember.
So the past tense, you had a thought.
I had a thought. Yeah, I had a thought.
Not there anymore.
It was about the division.
There it is. See?
So if you had to, coming into the season, we obviously ranked the division and each team in the division. And in all honesty, the team I had winning the division, if I recall, is currently looking like the worst team in the division. The Vikings have not impressed. Defensively, they're still a good team. No question about that. But offensively, I don't know what is going on, but I'll be 100% honest with you. I'd fire that OC. They can't get anything going. Dalvin Cook, if he's not there, they can't score at all.
Called out Cousins. I mean, it's not looking good over there.
They can't score at all offensively. And honestly, you can't put the blame all on Cousins.
I know you can't.
You can't, because the dude had zero time to throw the ball
That's true.
on Sunday night. He got sacked like 8 times by the Bears. Like, that's a lot.
But yeah, that pass game, again, it's not something that's new. Ever since that OC took over last year, that pass game really took a hit.
It did.
The run game has been...
Diggs still played well. It was Thielen that took the bigger hit.
Their run game has been phenomenal. But
outside of this past day, outside of this week. Dalvin Cook was not impressive this week.
In general, like with the new OC, the run game's been very good. But the Vikings receiving core is way too talented for the pass game to look the way it does.
I don't think the personnel they have works for this system that the OC's trying to implement. Because when you have a receiving duo like Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs with a very good tight end, Kyle Rudolph, and
Which
then you have
may very well be the best receiving duo in the league. I mean,
it very well could be, and then you have a fantastic pass catching running back in Dalvin Cook, and a quarterback who's proven he's capable of passing well and a lot in this league. That system doesn't work with that personnel. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then your O line's also terrible. Riley Reif, I played arguably the worst game I've ever watched him play, and that's coming from a Lions fan.
Yeah.
Granted, he was tasked with Khalil Mack, which not pretty.
I did want to. You just reminded me of something. I did want to go back and on Pro Football Focus had their offensive line rankings after this week. Frank Ragnow came in as the number one run blocking center in the league after this
In the
week.
league?
In the league.
Hell yeah.
Graham Glasgow came in as the number one run blocking guard in the league.
Excuse me?
According to Pro Football Focus. I don't know what the deal with the tackles is, but
our tackles are not as good as our two of our interior linemen. I'll be honest with you. Frank Ragnow looks like a perennial all-pro center moving forward. This year, maybe not. Next year, though, year after that, dude's going to be an all-pro at least at some point in his career. He is stupid good. Stupid good. One of the best offensive line picks we've made ever.
yeah.
Dude's stupid good. And Glasgow looks like a very, very, very capable guard. He looked like a good guard when Swanson was still here. And then they moved him to center and Ragnow a guard, and then they realized, hey, let's switch him. And it worked real well so far. Stafford stayed upright the last 2 weeks outside of this week. But the Chiefs had the number one pass rush in the league last year. So coming into this year, I know they lost D Ford, but they added Frank Clark. They're a good pass rushing team. And the Lions were, and they're not as good at stopping the run, but the Lions were able to take advantage of that and made some things happen.
But to close it out, just going into the bye week, even the Lions are technically ranked third in the division. To me, right now, it is looking like we do have a legitimate chance to, if we can keep up the level of play that we had at least on Sunday and against, I wasn't a big fan of the Philly game, but on Sunday against the Chiefs. I think we do have a legitimate shot at this division.
I agree with you. And in fact, I'll say this. After the first quarter of the season, I know less about this division than I thought I did coming into the year. Because this division to me looks wide open.
Exactly.
I'm not counting out the Vikings right now because I know they're too talented.
I'm not counting out anybody.
I'm not counting out the Bears, even though their offense looks putrid.
But they are 3-1.
They are, but their defense is ridiculous. And I'm not counting out the Packers or the Lions. The Lions, in my opinion, played one of the best football games against one of the best opponents that the NFL has seen in the decade.
We were one stop away from being 3-0-1 and being top of this division right now. I mean,
one play. One play.
But nope, we're third right now. So,
which honestly, being 2-1-1, I know the Cardinals game leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I'm not gonna lie.
We should be 3-1. We should be.
But this team has played a damn good first quarter of the season.
Even Cardinals fans you guys should be 3-1.
They beat two teams who, and the biggest knock on Matthew Stafford is his record against teams with a 500. His record against teams over 500.
And this is,
and he's got right now 2 wins against teams that will likely be over 500 come the end of the season.
And this one go on as a loss in just a regular record, but this is not a bad game of Matthew Stafford against
people are
a winning record team.
People are going to look.
Give me another one. Loss.
Come playoff time and for the rest of the season, people are going to look at this Lions game and see what the Lions did to force the Chiefs to make mistakes. You're going to see people start using the peanut Tillman punch a lot more against these Chiefs because apparently the Chiefs' wide receivers have weak ass hands.
Watch before Chiefs practice comes out. You see them all holding balls. They're
duct taping their hands to the balls, and they're just repeatedly punching them.
Remember in the comebacks?
Yes.
The tape his hand.
Oh man.
Anyway, anything else to add on this week's Lions performance?
Well, considering we'll probably give our Packers predictions next week.
Next week I'm thinking it's going to be a Pistons season preview.
Probably. It's actually, honestly, a good time for that because doesn't preseason start this week?
I think it starts next week.
I thought it was the 3rd.
Might be the 3rd. Yeah. The Pistons preseason starts, I think, the day we're going to be recording this.
Okay.
Next week's show.
Okay. Just a lot to be positive about. A lot to be happy about with your offense and your defense. And in my opinion, the number one performer from this weekend on the Lions team, from the Lions, is Matt Patricia. Dude put out and put together one hell of a game plan. that put the Lions in position to win this
Him
ball
and his
game.
wise man Kane.
Dude, that Kane is straight up baller. That Kane is. Did you see that thing? When
I didn't get a close up of it. I saw
there was one. There was one. This is where I realized
diamond studded.
it's not diamond studded, but I'm pretty sure it's like chrome or like silver or something.
Imagine like a pimp cane.
It kind of looks like one. No, like honestly, when T.J. Hawkinson was down on the field, and Matt Patricia came out to like check on him and like be there.
That's when I saw the cane.
That's when I saw the cane. That cane looked badass. Like it looked like the handle was like engraved. I was like, damn, look at that thing. But no, in all honesty, everybody knew when we hired him, he's a smart guy. He's a rocket scientist. He better be smart.
Mm-hmm. It was a guy I wanted. When we hired him.
It was. However, the game plan he put together in this game for this game was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was the best game plan I've arguably seen a team put together against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Especially defensively, and that's what he is, a defensive mastermind. Yeah. But see, this is not even the first time we've seen Patricia do this, and we continue to doubt him. He put the blueprint together against the Rams. He put the blueprint together against the Patriots last year. And then he comes right back and beats the Chiefs this way. Almost beats the Chiefs this way, I should say. He beat the Eagles this way. He beat the Chargers this way. He takes advantages of teams' weaknesses better than most. And for that reason, in my opinion, I'm giving the game ball to Matt Patricia this week because he deserves it. Secondary game ball will go to Stafford. Dude played unreal on a bad hit.
Secondary game ball goes to the secondary.
Tertiary, all right, fine. Secondary game ball goes to secondary. Tertiary game ball goes to Stafford. Those are my 3 stars of the week.
All right. Cool. I mean, I can't.
You got anything else?
I can't disagree with that. I'm just hoping that the fact that the bye week is this week, yes, it is a much needed bye week in terms of rebuilding this roster, but I'm hoping it doesn't stunt the momentum because I'm hoping we do take some out of this game and keep it
I'll agree with
the
you.
season.
I'll agree with you. There is something to carry. There is something about carrying momentum, but I definitely am glad that it's coming right now because we just got hit with a buttload of injuries. So let's hope we get healthy and get ready for next week.
Let's do it.
All right. So thank you guys for listening. That's going to be all for this week. We will catch you guys next week we're going to change the tune next week. We're going to go back and visit some Pistons preseason talk, and then
talk hoops in
before we
like
quickly give our Lions picks for the weekend against the Packers. But again, guys, thank you for listening. Check out our live show, www.twitch.tv/thefanreport. Check out our Twitter, @RealFanReport. You could talk fantasy football, you could talk Lions, you could talk national football, or NFL, National Football League, who uses the full thing. You can talk whatever sport you want. We like all sports. And movies. We love movies. But Andrew, thank you for joining me, and thank you
do need to bring Movie Talk back on the show sometime soon.
Yeah.
That's our thing we're talking about in a while.
We do.
But
maybe next week. We'll see. And thank you to Detroit Sports Podcast for being the wonderful network that you guys continue to be.
We'll talk about the Joker next week.
We could. But thank you guys again, and we will see you next week. This has been the Fan Reporters. Bye, fans.
For fans.
Thank you guys again. Peace out.